Feel the Bernier 3.0.
Maxime Bernier's rolling in the polls.
And he's rolling in the memes.
This time on the Mercer and Mogilevsky show. So here we are, once again, Maxime Bernier, his meme page is on fire, okay? The meme battle is on with this conservative leadership race, but that's not the only battle going on. O'Leary is taking some shots at Maxime, as usual, as you'd expect, but it's going both ways. What are you thinking about the race so far and what the craziness that's ensuing here?
Oh, well, it's so funny. These guys are, like, trying to attack Max. And, like, you can see why, because he's doing well. But it's like, they just, like, fall so flat on their faces. Only people over, like, the age of 75 would really be buying into these attacks. I saw one from Chris Alexander, all ranting about how we need to spare Bombardier from getting their corporate welfare cut on the week they announced they gave half of the money the government loaned them to their executives. Like, nobody is supporting that. I emailed back to him and say, Chris, just stop. This is not good for you. Just, like, you need help. And they wrote back and they're like, well, with Max's policy, he can't win. And I'm like, he's destroying you. So, like, yeah. It's just not even. It's so silly. It's not even a contest.
We covered this a long time ago, and a lot of these people were polling at 1%, and we felt kind of bad for them, saying they should probably drop out. At this point, it's no contest. Some people, if you don't have a meme page, you're not on board. Deepak's, shout out to Deepak's memes. Like, he got in the game, and congrats to that. But I mean, there's no competition here with Maxime, but I really think it's interesting because you have all these different, the little guy. They're really taking out Maxime. Like, O'Leary's really not, he's taking some shots from Maxime, but everyone else is not really doing anything, It's been kind of quiet. I don't understand it.
Yeah, Kelly Leach is always getting into a stir with something stupid she's doing.
Yeah.
But she's not really popular. It creates a lot of negativity versus that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
O'Leary is still doing okay, but he's like, they always say, O'Leary continues to lead. He's at like 23% until you adjust it for the way the ridings are weighted.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, 30% of the more people put him at the very bottom than people are willing to put him at the top, and that's not going to take him anywhere when it comes down to it. And then, like, you've got people like Andrew Scheer is, like, promoting as a free enterprise policy the fact he's going to require gas stations to put the flags of the countries the gas comes from on the pumps. It's like, so you're being, like, that's protection, like, that's anti-free trade. He's trying to be pro-Canadian gas, so it's anti-free trade. It's more regulation. It's like Andrew Scheer is like, it's Andrew Scheer for 2019, a good-looking candidate, stop the job. That's like his slogan. Like, what? He claims that when he spoke to me at the conservative leadership, he was like, oh, government doesn't create jobs, but you know what? Government can stop jobs.
Yeah, that's for sure. And so, Andrew Scheer, I think, like, at this point, he wants to promote capitalism so much, apparently, that he's willing to, take control of capitalistic systems like businesses and say, we want to promote capitalism here at the government. So what we're going to do, we're going to regulate businesses programs, I guess. It doesn't make any sense. Even though maybe Andrew Scheer's heart is in the right place, but his policies sure aren't.
Yeah, and also O'Leary is just like, before he got in the race, he was all like, well, of course Max is right. These are all the correct business principles. Then he gets in and he's like, oh yeah, we need to bail out Bombardier. We need to save the milk cartels. We need to do whatever these people do. He's not really actually trying to become a conservative. He's still holding all kinds of wacky positions and not running, really. He's staying in Boston half the time. But he's also adopting the most unpopular stuff. He could have taken part of Max's vote if he had a good policy. Instead, he's just coming up with garbage.
Well, it's confusing for me because, like you were saying, like, at the beginning, he was saying, I totally agree with Maxime Bernier, he's putting some great policies. He jumps in the race. What's going on? Like, I don't even know who this guy is anymore, It's like, I was saying, while he was saying
he's so much better on television.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, man, if O'Leary likes Bernier's policy, if he were to jump in the race, that means we would have two contenders that both stand for free market, fairness, all this, great stuff.
You got played.
I just got played. Make a meme out of that. But yeah, I mean, it's really what can you expect from somebody like O'Leary?
No, nothing. It seems like he not only isn't good at, like, actually making people like him in the Conservative Party, and nor is he good at policy. Like, he doesn't have either of these things. Trump didn't really nail down policy, but he was popular among a group. And O'Leary he's not inviting any love from anyone. It's weird.
No, it is, because you wonder really who's going to his, he has these gatherings and he has fundraisers, and who's his niche,
No, all those people at those fundraisers, it's just people who like the spectacle of it. They want to go see O'Leary because he's a star, and it doesn't mean they're actually voters.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because he claims to have like a young population that really likes him, the youth. But I think you're right in that, saying that it's more the spectacle of it, and it's nothing like like a Ron Paul, something from the United States, where you have people going on off ideology. O'Leary's simply a entertainer.
Bernier's doing the Ron Paul thing, and he's going to get the youth involved, and he's going to hack into Trudeau's support because of it. Yeah. And so
Well, it's important to engage ideas, which is what Bernier is doing. With O'Leary, you don't know where he's standing on each issue because he has no firm ideology through where he's going. He's just kind of he's a pragmatist who's just like, well, that sounds pretty good, I guess.
But see, he's not even picking the popular stuff. That's someone who doesn't care what their policy is should be able to do okay by picking popular policies that people actually like. But he's picking stupid stuff that people don't like. So, who's his campaign manager? Let me ask you that.
That's so true. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, yeah, that's interesting. But who Kelly Leach, she's interesting because at one point she was like, she's the Donald Trump, and people are saying, no, she's not the Donald Trump. She's just a crazy person that's talks funny, has a funny accent, but she's totally fallen off the map. I mean, at one point she was, I think, early on she was doing okay, but right now she's
sold a lot of memberships, but she just I don't think she's got the guts. She raised half the money that Bernier and O'Leary did in the last quarter, and it's just enthusiasm dropped off. I think a lot of people who signed up for her campaign early on are probably moving on to other campaigns to vote for them. I personally think she's gonna underperform on the actual ballot.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think Bernier's gonna do really well, and I think we're both looking forward to it.
O'Toole is one guy who's I think is rising in the race. I think he's the only guy who's rising in the race, but he's come out with this as soon as Trump bombed Syria, he's rolling out his oh, I was in the army, and you know what, we love to bomb people, and if I was prime minister, we'd be beating the Americans to it, we'd be dropping bombs everywhere. It was not quite that dramatic, but it's
he's getting a little
you're not
too
getting
excited.
my vote by pro war is not the right thing to do. We have to be really careful about this. Even if you're a neocon, you've got to be a little more careful than that. I don't think in Canada O'Toole's going to rise to the top by saying bomb them all. That's just not popular.
That narrative might work in the United States, but in Canada, people are a little, quite a bit more reserved.
Even with the euphoria over Trump bombing Syria, there has been there's a measured approach to it among the populace, at least. The media is just all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, so I think that's all for today. I think.
We're still feeling the Bernier. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're excited to see what happens, and the vote is coming up soon. If you're a member, you're going to be getting your ballot pretty soon,
and towards the end of April, right around that time.
So make sure you're voting for who makes sense, who you agree with ideologically, and who is actually gonna stand a chance against Trudeau in 2019. And I think who we're
who we think that is.
Who we think that is. But we'd be interested to hear your opinion in the comments down below.
Yeah, and the last time we did this video, Max shared it. That was pretty.
Do you think that could happen again?
I don't know. Let's see. Well,
let's see. Okay.
He says he watches.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
We'll give a shout out. If Max, you're watching, we're thrilled.
Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks very much, and continue on your journey. We're supporting you here, and thanks for everyone else who's watching. And see you next time.
Feel the Bernier.
Feel the Bernier.